individuals and other individuals. I am Don of Caricatures by Don. In addition to the sketch process videos and the caricature discussion videos that I've been posting on my YouTube channel, I've also been wanting to include some videos of a more instructional nature for people just beginning in the art of caricature. That, who knows, maybe some more experienced caricaturists could also learn something from. We're all always learning, right? I'm going to be calling this series the Caricaturiculum. Yep, that's actually the name, the Caricaturiculum. And look at this smirk on my face. I'm actually proud of it. I could have called this series anything I wanted. And I consciously, intentionally decided on the Caricaturiculum. To begin, let me be clear on two things. First, the Caricaturiculum is not intended to be a step-by-step guide on how to draw caricatures. I wouldn't even really know how to start with something like that, to be honest. Instead, this is just a collection of tips that I think would be helpful for someone who's trying to learn the art of caricature. So they could be watched in any order, I imagine, and still be followable. Number two, I do not intend for this to instruct people on how to draw in general, because again, I wouldn't even know where to start. These tips are specifically for people who already have at least some base knowledge of art and are now trying to expand their skills into the caricature area, or the caricataria. I feel strongly that caricature is not where one should begin learning how to draw. Caricature is a skill that you build on top of established art skills. With all that in mind, this video will be tip number 1 for new caricaturists in the Caricaturiculum: finding your own unique caricature style. It's been my experience that this is a concern for artists of all artistic disciplines, but I'll talk about it specifically in relation to caricature. I've heard a lot of beginning caricaturists ask through various internet forums how they can establish their own unique caricature styles. And I get why this might be a concern. It's kind of like establishing a brand in business. Whether you're aiming to focus on live caricature or hoping to get more into illustrative caricature, or even if this is just a hobby, you want your work to stand out from the crowd of other caricaturists. And that doesn't necessarily mean being the best caricaturist. It means that you want to have something unique about your work that people recognize and identify with you specifically, and not just with the art of caricature in general. And chances are that any caricaturist whose work you've been studying while trying to learn to draw caricatures has a style that you immediately identify with them. Like, you can look at any one of their caricatures and immediately know that it was them who drew it. Just about any caricaturist I can think of whose work I admire fits into that category. Al Hirschfeld, Jan Optebeck, Robert Risco, Andre Carrillo, Ralph Steadman, Gerald Scarf, Kiko Yamada, Danilo Matos, Damon Renthrope, Eric Rodfeld, Sebastian Martin, Walter Klintz, Hitomi Ishihara, Damian Dunn, Ash Stryker, Emerson Boca, Jota Leal. I could go on and on. Every one of these caricature artists, and any others whose names I could pull off the top of my head, such as David O'Keefe, Kunikazu Noguchi, David Cowles, Kelly O'Brien, Ewan McTavish, Dan McMahon, Derek Brennan, Kev Jackson, Jeff Leach, Glenn Ferguson, Jason Seiler, Adrian Teal, Jeremy Martinez, Kosuke Miyagi, Philip Burke, Valentin Chabri. All of these caricaturists, aside from being artists who I personally frequently look to when I'm looking for inspiration, have one thing in common. They're all different from each other. They all have drawing styles that are all their own. So when I look at one of their caricatures, I immediately know that it was them who did it. And without trying to sound too self-important or anything here, I believe my own work fits into that description as well. I've been drawing caricatures now professionally for 30 years and practicing it for another 10 or 11 years before that. And in that time, I think I've established a drawing style that is truly my own. It's actually happened on several occasions that people have shown me drawings that they've had done before, asking me if I was the one who had drawn it. And I could tell right away, without even looking at the signature or anything, that it was one of mine. I wish I could define exactly what it is about my caricatures that makes them immediately identifiable like that, but I really don't know. Sometimes my sketches are easy to spot because of the red pencil that I'm fond of sketching in, but it can't be only that because, one, I'm not the only artist by far who sketches in red pencil, and two, the caricatures that I draw in any other medium are also identifiable as mine. So I'm not sure. If you happen to be familiar with my work and have any input on what it is that makes a caricature recognizable as one of mine, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that down in the comments. Anyway, beginning caricaturists very often see establishing that unique style as one of their priorities, and they frequently ask experienced, established caricaturists how they can achieve that. Well, I'm here to answer that question for you. I have a solution to finding your own unique caricature style that can be summed up in 3 simple words. Are you ready to hear it? This would be a great place for YouTube to put an ad right now. Sorry, I ruined the moment. Sorry, let me get back to it. I have a solution to finding your own unique caricature style that can be summed up in 3 simple words. Are you ready to hear it? Forget about it. Okay, then I can clarify what I mean by that by saying a whole lot more words. Let me tell you a bit about my history as a caricaturist. I'm sorry if it sounds a little self-indulgent to be spending time talking about myself here. And a lot of what I am about to say I have mentioned before in a previous video, but that's how I feel I can most effectively communicate what I'm trying to get at here. So, bear with me. I have been drawing for as long as I can remember. It's just something I have always loved doing ever since I was a small child. And in my early childhood, I was a huge fanatic of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I loved all things Hanna-Barbera. And so as a result, my earliest experiences learning how to draw heavily involved copying the Hanna-Barbera design style. Then as a teenager, I got really into Mad Magazine. The sarcastic humor style and the focus on pop culture kind of aligned with my own interests. But I especially became fascinated with the artwork in it, and that formed my interest in starting to learn how to draw caricatures. So I started practicing, mostly by copying the drawing styles of Mort Drucker and Jack Davis, fusing those with the Hanna-Barbera influenced drawing style that I was already developing. From that, you might already see where I'm going with this. Years later, I discovered the caricature puppets of the British comedy series Spitting Image, and even later than that, the work of Sebastian Kruger, and influenced by them, I started trying to push the exaggerations more in my drawings. Many years after that, observing the amazing work of Anthony Geoffroy, I started trying to incorporate his sense of fun into my caricatures, and all of that mixed together has resulted over the years in a style that, being a blending of all of those styles, becomes none of them. It's mine. It's unique to me, even though it has come about by the influence of all of those sources. Now, Let's say that you were to follow the exact same path. You started drawing as a young child and were influenced heavily by Hanna-Barbera. Then in your teenage years, you started mixing in the influence of Mad Magazine artists, the same ones that I tried to emulate. Then Spitting Image and Kruger made you, just like me, want to start pushing your exaggerations. And Geoffroy gave you the inspiration to make your caricatures more fun. After all of that, would your caricature style come out indistinguishable from mine? It's unlikely. But why not, if we both learned from all the same sources? Well, that's because an artist's drawing style is more than just the sum of all its influences. Part of it is also the result of the artist's own unique life experience. Your drawing style is going to be heavily swayed by your own thoughts, your dreams, your sense of humor, your philosophies, your ideas, your personality. All of those things are going to be different from mine. The point I'm trying to make here is that my unique drawing style, and by the way, I've talked to and heard from a lot of caricaturists who will say the same thing, has come about not as a result of me consciously pursuing it or insisting that it was something that I needed. It came about naturally as the end result of all of that life experience. Things that are obviously art related, as well as things that have happened to me in my life that you may not so immediately associate with drawing. All of that has gotten mixed together and channeled through me into the artwork that I create. In fact, the whole time that I was learning to draw, and the whole time that I specifically was trying to learn to draw caricatures, my focus has never been on developing my own style. Honestly, I don't recall that thought ever even occurring to me. My focus was always just on getting better at it. The unique style came naturally over time. So that's my advice for any beginning caricaturist asking that question: how do I develop my own unique caricature style? Forget about it. Don't waste mental energy concerning yourself with it. Just let your focus instead be on getting better at it. Study. Look at those artists you admire and analyze what it is that they're doing that makes you love their artwork. Draw on that, and then let all of your life experience and everything that makes you come through in your creations. And in time, you'll come to realize that you do have your own unique caricature style. As I said, I don't intend for the Caricaturiculum to be a step-by-step guide in learning how to draw caricatures, but there are sources that you can look to for that. Lots of books and workshops out there, both in person and online. Tom Richmond has a workshop that he tours around the US, and I've never had a chance to attend myself, but I know a lot of caricaturists who have, both beginning and more experienced artists. They've joined it and said that they've learned a lot. He also has a book out called The Mad Art of Caricature that I know a lot of artists swear by. I would also recommend the YouTube channel The Toonheads, where the awesome AJ Jensen gives some great tips for caricaturists, especially live caricaturists. I'll link his channel in the description in case you're unfamiliar with it. Anyway, what I'm getting to is that you'll find that these artists can give you some excellent, reliable pointers on how to make great caricatures that blend exaggeration, humor, and likeness. But what they don't do is try to teach you to draw like them. They don't want you to draw in their styles. They recognize the need for you to take those tips that they offer and apply them to your own drawing style. And that style will come about if you have the patience to just let it develop and emerge all on its own. Keep at it. I hope that's helpful to you. If you are a beginning caricaturist and you have any other questions that you'd like me to address, I'd love to hear them down in the comments. If you're a more experienced caricature artist and you have anything else to say on this topic, comment section would be a great place for that too. Let's keep this conversation going. Just please keep the comments respectful and courteous. There's enough anger and hatred and fighting elsewhere on the internet. We don't need it here. As always, I'd also ask that you like this video, and if you'd like to see more videos discussing aspects of the art of caricature, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really love to keep it going. And please also share this video with anyone that you think might find it of interest. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Don. This is Caricatures by Don, and I still haven't thought of a good catchphrase to sign off my videos with yet. See you next time. Caricaturiculum. Sounds like the name of an internal organ or something. Sorry guys, I can't play the sports today. I ruptured my caricaturiculum.